Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and this is a Toyota Crown 200 series. This is the first time that we've seen one of these, and I think that, well, this right now is the second to newest generation of the Toyota Crown. One just came out like a year or two ago. This one has a 2.5 liter engine, but you can get it with a 2.5, 3 liter, or 3.5 liter. This one's 200 horsepower, and the car, it's actually bigger in person than I thought it would be. Kind of a little bit smaller than 5 Series, which is about what the Crown's target has been all along. It's suitable for a lot of Asian countries or tight-streeted countries because it's not really that big, has very good tight handling, good engines, good build quality. This is what Toyota calls their flagship model because although there are more expensive vehicles like the Century, this is the one that everybody knows about, and they're great cars. It actually has some really interesting things on the interior that I didn't know about, like this one has like lane keep assist and pedestrian crash avoidance technologies. Pretty cool, pretty modern. No engine though. Look, it's just plastic everywhere. This is something I really don't like about most modern cars, is they don't expect you to do any of the work, and so they don't give you an engine. They just give you something that was designed by a designer. I much prefer an engine that actually looks like an engine. And so oil and coolant both are okay. Coolant is just in a bottle here, so that's easy to get at. Oil can be checked over here, so your main things are there. You might hear a ticking, that's because it's a direct gasoline injection. And these engines, this is a 4GR engine, they put out between 200 and 215 horsepower. And then 280 for the 3.5 liter. 280 or 300, depending on market and stuff like that. I really like it. I'm really glad to check this out because I've seen earlier model versions of the Crown, and it's really interesting to see kind of Toyota's big time player in the market, at least here in Asia and or in Japan. The Crown's been made since 1955, and this I think is the 13th generation, and it's been built ever since, so pretty crazy. I will shut off the engine here. I just want to show you what the gauges look like here. They're pretty standard, to be honest. And I'll come back into here in just a second. I just want to show you what it looks like when it's all illuminated. I don't like engine push buttons. And maybe you saw that, but the steering wheel went up when you turned it off, and the seat went back. And it's a nice chocolate brown leather interior, and the leather in this is really nice, not like a cheap leather. Even BMW leather feels really cheap to me compared to this. This is more like Mercedes leather. Okay. So let's have a quick look at the auction inspection sheet, and then I'll look around the car. This one, of course, was bought from auction. This one's going to the Netherlands. It's a 2009 with 75,000 kilometers on it. This is an auction grade R because it's been in an accident, and the accident damage is the right front inner panel dented. Right rear fender has been replaced. Both doors on the right side replaced. Right center pillar dented. And so the center pillar is this one here, also known as the B pillar. Now I've got another video that comes along with the report of both doors being open and taking an extra close look at it. I couldn't find any damage that's visible to me. The interior smells like cigarettes. More than usual. And then if you look on here, this part here lines up very well. On the door fender it lines up really well. And so it's not really, or not at all, visually looking like it has been in an accident. Okay, so what do we got in terms of notes? That's automatic transmission. You can shift yourself. You don't have buttons on the steering wheel, but you can shift with the shifter up and down, like a Tiptronic type thing. It says side and reverse camera, air seats and heaters. So there's AC in the seats or heaters in the seats. Very cool. HID headlights, built-in toll collection box. Warranty papers, owner's manual come with the car. Front right side accent has been repaired. And keep in mind, this is the information that's given to you before you're bidding on the cars. This one obviously has already been bought. Seat wear, trim wear, they're actually really good. These ones here are already translated. Wheels scratched, very scratches, dents, small paint stains on the car. Paint stain is like if the bird poos on your car, it'll kind of damage the paint. I couldn't really see anything, but the car is dirty right now. The cars come in from the auction dirty. They get sent to the port when they get exported. We don't, we're not a car dealer. We don't clean up the cars and then sell them. This is wholesale. Get the cars in, get the cars out. Okay, so taking a look at here, so we have a replaced fender. Like I said, I couldn't even tell that this has been damaged. I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't even been damaged because none of that actually goes on the title. It's just the inspector found that. Now if you look at the fender bolts, probably that fender's been removed, but it doesn't look bad at all. Scratches on the front bumper, that is a little bit bad. Rear spoiler is paint peeling, that's a little bit bad. The scratch on this side skirt, that's a little bit bad. Okay, and let me just do a once around and then I'll do an update on those. Now when the newest version of the Crown came out, myself and a lot of people thought it was too aggressively styled and preferred the styling of this one. I think that's right where you want to be when you're designing cars though. You want to have a car that looks a little bit absurd, but then after 2 or 3 years it starts to look really good. And I think if you're a good car designer, that's what you're really shooting for. This is still a really good looking car, and these are all over in Japan. They're handsome, they're a good size, trunk is good, interior is perfect size. In terms of just your regular family sedan, there's not much better that you can do than this. And Toyota really owns the market compared to other manufacturers. For example, this would compete against the Nissan Fuga or the Nissan Sima. Those cars just aren't nearly as good as this, in my opinion. Unless you own one of those, in which case just plug your ears. You don't need to hear this. Okay, so there are different front ends for the different versions. This one here is an Athlete, so it's sort of like the sportier one, but 18-inch wheels look a little bit small in a car that's as big as this. So front bumper, this is what I was talking about. We got scratches in this area here and this area here, and there's more on the other side. In all honesty, it would be best to get this completely repainted. Now, bumper is fairly easy to repaint because you can just take it off and you don't have to worry about blending the paint with other paint. Okay, now looking down the sides, you have remarkably good side panels. Only a teeny tiny little dent, and if you didn't see it already, you missed it. Right there. Okay, now the side skirt here has the A3. It's from basically here down to here with some more at the back there. Looks like they pulled the corner too tightly. And in Japan, this kind of damage is pretty easy because there are a lot of corners that are like 90-degree corners, so you have to get past, but there will be something that's like a curb that you have to get around. And if you turn too tightly, you'll hit that curb. I've personally done it once. This corner here is the other one that I was talking about with scratches. Might be a little bit difficult to see those scratches because it's black and highly reflective, but there are scratches here, here, here. And you can't actually feel any of these scratches, so you may be able to polish that out. It may not actually be scratch, but some sort of a material that has clung on to there, like paint or something like that. Here's the peeling of the back spoiler. And it's pretty noticeable. Also, I turned my fingernails up when I was trying to open the trunk. This is annoying. It looks like maybe I'm not able to do it properly, but there's a button here that doesn't seem to do anything. Maybe it's supposed to open it, but I tried unlocking the car, maybe it's broken. There's a button on the inside of the door, and this is a Crown thing. They've had these buttons here for 5 generations of them up into this one. There's a button there, and you push that button and it pops the trunk, but there's no hook to hook your hand on here. It's smooth. Have a look. So usually there's like a lip that you can, even if you don't get the handle part, you can still easily grab it. But there's no handle part on this. There's a camera, there's places for the lights, there's that button, and easy to, whoop. Actually, the first time I tried to do it, I was like, this isn't working so much, so I thought it was one of these ones, but it doesn't seem to be. Okay, was there anything on this side that I missed? Oh yeah, the front bumper is bent in this section here. This looks like it's residual damage from the accident. Okay, tires are, I said the age of them previously. I think it's 2017 and down to about half tread. Nice big mirrors. Oh, here's something I don't like. Time for me to complain. It's only on the passenger side window, but this is thanks to Mercedes-Benz and they're idiots. What they do is they make a mirror that, do you see the little line here? This is a regular mirror. This one here is bent mirror so that it gives you theoretically a bigger warning for your blind spots. But the problem is that if you look at any of this part here, because you have two eyes, you can't actually look at the same spot because one eye will have a slightly different location for the reflection of that. So it makes it so that part of the mirror is unusable. And every time that you look in the mirror, you can't actually tell what exists there. I'd much rather just have a regular mirror. And Mercedes-Benz started doing that in the late 1980s. Hate it. Here's something I like, though. This is very comfortable, much more so than a usual handle for closing the door and in an appropriate location. This one here, the fact that it's padded is actually really nice because when you go to open the door, you put your elbow there and you push out with your elbow. And the fact that it's smooth and padded actually makes a difference. I like that. Seats are programmable. Okay. Power seats. You can see there the amount of wear in the seat. Oh, I just noticed that this is coming out. This should be easy to put back in. Air lumbar support and speakers on your shoulders. Now, I didn't test them out, but I love stuff like that. The Miata in America comes with those. In Japan, I don't think it ever did. Or if it did, it wasn't very common. I want to try it. Like the Fiero 2 in America had those. And I think the RX-7 maybe. Okay. Now, you won't be able to see it, but there's swing vents. It's a Toyota thing. These will oscillate back and forth. And I think the first generation to do that was a 80 Series Mark II Cresta, those cars. And they've been on Crowns and JZX 100s as well. Touch screen here, kind of stupid. I don't like touch screens. This one here is not real leather, but it is soft. And it's a lot better than older Toyota because it actually has real stitching in there instead of just pretend stitching that's molded in like old Celica's had. I think this one here is fake wood, but I may be wrong about that. Air and heated seats. Tire pressure monitoring system. That's cool. This one. Whee! To give you an MD player, of all things. Obviously has been smoked in, but maybe not by the previous owner. Obvious as in the smell. And this has only been used once. I guess he didn't like car lighters. I don't blame him. Car lighters are weird. I like the feeling of this. I hate it when you get a car that it just doesn't feel good to shift. This one's appropriate. An example of that would be like the L400 Delicas. Shifting those is terrible, and you just don't get used to it. Cup holders for 2 cups, or take them out and you can put like a bag of chicken nuggets in. Eco mode, sports now, whatever. Okay, there is this. It's a reasonable amount of space in there. And it can open the other way. Oh, I love that. And controls for the seat here on the side. So this allows, like, if you're going to be driven around by somebody, it allows you to move this seat if you want to. It has speakers in the headliner. That's cool. Your own lamps up there. And then a sub in the back, and then corner speakers there. And what speakers do we got in the doors? Is it just a single one? Yeah, this is single. This probably comes out. Yeah. Speaker in the dashboard and speaker in the door. Okay. What's this? That's nothing. It feels like this should come out or come down. Maybe not. Okay, I don't think that there is anything else to talk about with this. Good car. I think everybody should have one of these, or at least try driving one. They're kind of like the Lexus LS, a little bit down market, but sharing a lot of the same goodies and things that make it a great car. Okay, so there you have it. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Check out our website. It's a new website that just went up like 2 weeks ago, so check that out. Thank you so much for watching this, and have a nice day.